If you're a fan of Tim Allen's TV series Last Man Standing, you'll have a final chance to contact the show's amateur radio club station before it goes QRT.
This is KA6LMS 73.
The week-long KA6LMS radio special event starts on March 24th at 0000 UTC and runs through 2359 UTC on March 30th. This will be an all-mode, all-band event.
CQ. This is KA6LMS.
This is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra calling CQ.
Fans will have the opportunity to work the bonus 1x1 stations, K6L, K6M, K6S, W6L, W6M, and W6S. Stations from every call sign area will operate as KA6LMS/0 through KA6LMS/9 and KA6LMS/VE, providing nationwide and international coverage. The remote operators are a virtual who's who of ham celebrities, contesters, and podcasters. Many will live stream their operations. Check spotting sites like DX Summit for pop-up operations on any day and at any time during the event week. We expect the on-stage radios to be in operation from the studio in California on Saturday, March 27th at 1800 UTC using 20 meters, and on Sunday at 2200 UTC using 40 meters. If you're a fan of digital modes, Saturday, March 27th is your day. At 1700 UTC, KA6LMS will be using D-Star on Reflector 12 Alpha, hosted by the Papa repeater system. At 1900 UTC, the D-Star action moves to Reflector 30 Bravo, hosted by Georgia D-Star. At 2300 UTC, AmateurLogic.tv will host the KA6LMS multi-mode QSO party, using All-Star, DMR, D-Star, NXDN, P25, Echolink, Ham Shack Hotline, Wires X, and Yaesu System Fusion.
For DMR users, in addition to the multi-mode QSO party hosted by AmateurLogic.tv on the evening of March 27th, you'll have 6 more opportunities to use that mode. DMR specialist Michael, AF6FB, will operate as KA6LMS on March 25th at 1800 hours and 2100 hours UTC. On March 27th at 1600 hours UTC. On March 28th at 2100 hours UTC, and on March 30th at 1800 hours and 2100 hours UTC. Please check the event webpage for talk group information.
KA6LMS QSL cards will be available for stations who contact the stage directly or through relay stations. Special event certificates, including clean sweep endorsements, will be available via download. The KA6LMS radio event is sponsored by the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club's 12 Days of Christmas team and K2 Heroes teams. In association with AmateurLogic.tv, the Papa repeater system, and Georgia D-Star. And of course, Last Man Standing and KA6LMS have always been powered by ICOM. For more information, go to www.gsbarc.org/LMS.
Well, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Ham Radio 2.0 Sunday live stream. You know what? There's too much light in the sky. It's supposed to be dark outside right now, but this is the first official live stream of Central Daylight Time. And you guys let me know how my audio is. Let me know how everything sounds in the chat. We got a cool show lined up for you from you tonight. And should be a fun time here. I got a couple of quick announcements, and we're going to jump right into it. So, those of you who watched my Wednesday live stream know that I just broke 73,000 subscribers. I'm actually over 74 now. In fact, in the next couple days, it should break 75. Excellent time. And special thanks to all of you who made that happen, because that is you guys making that happen, not me. Go to hamradio2.com/73K-giveaway to sign up for some prizes. We're going to be giving away a Bioenno pack, if you want to call it that. It's a 12 amp hour battery, a solar charge controller, and a fold-up 28 watt solar panel. all for on-the-go type purposes. Be great for a POTA setup. Frank just shared that in the stream, in the chat rather. And I'm going to also give away some K6ARK antenna kits, some Flex Radio T-shirts. I actually talked to Flex Radio today at the QSO Today Ham Expo. And she asked me about that. She's like, "How many do you need?" I was like, "I don't know. I'll let you know." I'm going to give away some other stuff from the website also. Next weekend, I'm incredibly excited. Not only is the HamSci event, HamSci 2021 event next weekend. Those of you into astronomy, space weather, study of the atmosphere, study of the ionosphere, stuff that is way over my head. You will enjoy, I think, the HamSci event coming up next Friday and Saturday next weekend. Last year, I mentioned this the other day. Last year, they live streamed their event to their YouTube channel, which has a few hundred subs on it. They don't really do much with it. And the second day, they couldn't get it to work. It was something with the Zoom account, I think. I don't really know. They asked me to live stream it this year. So guess what? All day Friday and Saturday next weekend, I'm going to be live streaming on this channel right here, the HamSci event. So we'll have live chat going. I'm going to introduce the day and then hand it over to them and let them have it. Kind of similar to what I did with Chris, KD5HIY, in our technician training class that we did from the W5HRC Hearst Amateur Radio Club back. I think that was May. That's almost been a year ago. It was May of last year when we did that. So I'm going to let them have it, let them stream. And then during breaks and lunchtime, I'll come back on. We'll talk about some stuff. I might show a Last Man Standing video or two, like the one you just watched. We'll see. Because that's the following week. So HamSci on this channel next Friday and Saturday. I got some new stuff in the store. Thank you to K5ATA, Good Game Ham Radio, for the Cycle 25 ARRL shirt. That was above and beyond for sure. Really appreciate him thinking of me when he was sending out those shirts. We've got some cool new shirts in the store from several of the YouTubers, including K8MRD and Red Summit RF. K8MRD, he's extra special. He's got two designs. One he named Happy Skull Guy, and the other he named Tower of Terror. So it's got a very death metal theme to it. I don't know. It's just something Mike does. So anyway, that's all good. But you got the Smoking Ape t-shirts in here. We've got YouTubers Bunch. YouTubers Hamfest is going to be coming up in a couple of months. We're going to talk more about that later. Got some POTA shirts in here, whatnot. I also have, just 2 days ago, I received some more Ed Fong antennas in the mail. So I've got new roll-up J-pole, dual-band J-poles for ham radio band, and I've got new single-band GMRS-tuned J-poles for GMRS users. So those are out there right now. Shop.hamradio2.com. Hit the categories up at the top. Go to antennas and gear. You can see those right here on the left. And yes, I am actually carrying these POV cases for the 705. I have 25 of them in stock. Actually, I think I sold 2 or 3 over the weekend, so I have a little bit less than 25 now. So these are in stock, in my possession. A couple people asked that. They're like, "Are you just doing like a drop ship?" No. I have them right here with me, in stock, in my possession, ready to ship. So as soon as you order it, it'll ship probably the next day or something like that. Don't have to wait on it like we do a t-shirt. Really cool carrying case that they're going to be adding a bunch of accessories to as time goes on. And I like mine. It was in my last IC705 video that I showed at the hunting lease during the ARRL DX single sideband contest. And a lot of people came by and said, "Hey, what is that carrying case?" I'm like, "Funny you should ask. Here's a link to it." So great guys over there at POV. Made in the USA, because that still means something. So let me talk really quick about the QSO Today Virtual Hamfest that ended a few hours ago. In fact, they may still have some stuff going on. I'm not even sure. It was hard. It was hard to get in there. It was hard to. So a lot of people have trouble logging in. A lot of people had trouble getting to the sessions they needed to be. Some of the sessions were out of scheduled improperly or something like that. I don't know what all of that was. People had problems with cameras, with audio, with video, with all this kind of good stuff. I would like to say, and I had a second session, a second presentation session yesterday. I think it was supposed to start at 4. I didn't actually start it till about 5. I was actually going to skip it. I thought, they're having bandwidth issues. I'm just not going to do mine and let them have that bandwidth to where I'm not using any more bandwidth on their system. And Eric, the guy running it, Eric, 4Z1 Uniform Golf, he was on this channel last Sunday during the live stream. Very nice guy. I feel for him. Everything that happened this weekend is not his fault. It was just some mistakes were made. Not really mistakes, but there were just some technical difficulties. Let me tell you something. And Josh said this last night on his live stream. Okay, running a live stream, you got a lot of T's to cross and I's to dot. Okay, and this is a very simple setup I've got here. I've got a camera there, a camera there, a camera there, and a camera over there. And I'm doing one station, one computer, couple screens, me, one Zoom feed, big deal. Okay, and I still have problems. I had audio problems last weekend. Okay, Eric's doing this worldwide virtual event across multiple time zones. Things are bound to go wrong. Now, it was a little bit more than we anticipated, yes, but I would like to see the ham radio community really kind of step up and support. Think about it. Nobody else has ever done anything like this before. This was a very unique event. It was a great event last August. They're going to be doing it again this next August. He wants to make it a twice-a-year event. N6KV, thank you for the $5 super chat. She says, I'm going to set up my 991 and Impasse 2.0 for KA6LMS before I get my new ham shack up and running. Hey, congratulations. Thank you for the support out there. RV Dad, thank you for the super chat as well. But I think it's time for the ham radio community to step up and support Eric because he is trying to do something that is incredibly difficult. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of different systems to try to work together. Yes, there were problems with it, and he is going to fix those. I feel pretty confident he's going to fix those. I started to tell you about my presentation yesterday. I was just showing my Flex Radio and WSJTX screen and doing some FT8. Very informal, very nonchalant about it. And Eric comes in there, and he talked to my audience for about 30 minutes. And he apologized. He was like, yeah, we didn't anticipate this. We had this problem and this problem. These two systems didn't play well together. And I'm like, you know what, man, it happens. Learn from your mistakes and move on. It's not a big deal. All these people who are commenting and being negative and berating him, I'm like, man, there's just no call for that. Okay. Just be a positive influence. Understand that it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy to put on something like this. And hey, you know what? You know how many volunteers there are at Dayton and Orlando every year? People volunteering. Contact Eric. Reach out to Eric if you're one of these smarter than me people, like developers and whatnot, and see if you can volunteer to help him next time. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to do any developer type stuff. You don't want me doing that. It'd be a bigger disaster than it was. But I'm going to reach out to him and say, dude, if there's something I could coordinate as far as scheduling goes or emails or something like that, let me know. I'll be happy to help. Okay, be happy to volunteer. So as an amateur radio community, let's step up and try to support this incredibly new effort, incredibly difficult effort, and something that has never been done before and nobody else is planning to do. Not even the YouTubers Handfest is that intricate. Okay, the YouTubers Handfest was incredibly fun last Memorial Day weekend. We're going to do it again this year. Not really the same format. There's not a virtual tour or lobby to log into. You're just watching a bunch of dudes like me on YouTube. So that's what that is. Anyway, so thank you to those of you who did stop by the booth. We had a good time chatting with those of you who are out there. And I'm glad that I was able to get to be a part of that, regardless of a couple of other mishaps it might have had. So let me get my... Oh, I got to mute that. Let's see. Okay, let me mute that. I had myself playing in the background. Didn't need that. Nobody wants to hear that. And let me move over to this screen here. Not that one. Yes, that one right there. And I'm going to go right here. And unfortunately, as I say many times, Frank is in the house again. So, boy, that was rough.
Let me just take it how we all know how it should start.
Okay.
Welcome to Take Radio. I'm Frank, KG5AHJ, and this is Ham 2.0 live stream on Sunday.
Now everyone knows why I drink. So Frank is going to turn his video off, I think.
I will.
Yeah. Okay. Tell everyone what you're drinking, Frank. I know you want to say that.
I'm starting off with the continued Stepbrother tour around the world. I'm back in Japan. This time is actually a beer. This is a malt beer, and I'm enjoying it. The other one turned out to be sake, which was still good, but
Sake.
the first couple of swigs, I was expecting beer. Then you get that hit with sake. You're like, oh no,
Ugh.
yes. But I am going to be in the background throughout the night. Please go ahead and ask any questions you have in the chat, and I'll go ahead. I'll bring them up on the air, and I'm looking forward to this.
Should be a fun
I
time.
I am. So
Good. Okay. Thanks,
I am
Frank.
going to hand everything back off to Jason, my co-host. Everyone knows. So take it away, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for fielding the questions tonight. Appreciate you being in the chat. So let me welcome John, Lou, and Sally. Good evening to all three of you. How is the weather in California today? You're muted, John.
You're muted, John.
There
I
you
was
go.
being polite while you were giving your patter.
That's okay.
It's it's frigid here. It plummeted to 70 degrees.
Oh,
so we're
that's
beside
terrible.
ourselves. So I just took my sweater off for this podcast, but otherwise
Yeah.
I'll be putting it back on right after.
Okay, good deal. Lou and Sally, how are you two tonight?
We're good.
We're good. It's we're looking at 20 tonight.
Yeah, 23, and it was very
23.
windy all day long.
Oh, wow.
Around now, gusts, but
Yeah.
it was in the 40s. Tonight it'll
Yeah,
be in the
we're on
30s.
Long Island, and
Oh, you're on Long Island. Okay, I was about to ask where you were. Okay,
yeah, what we did is John handles the West Coast, and we're handling the East Coast.
gotcha. Okay.
And the middle is up to Brad.
I'll be
I'm
driving.
actually hoping you'll handle all of that, but we'll talk about that later.
I'll be driving to Long Island next month. I got a friend up there. I'm going to go see him. So
Okay.
Well, when you go, let us know because we need to hook you up and stop by the GSB club.
okay,
Say hi.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. He lives out on Islip. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
That's right there.
Okay, yeah.
You're going to
Yeah,
be in the
so-
neighborhood. You got to drop in and say hi to those
Okay,
guys. They're
okay.
great.
I will do it. That'd be fun. Okay, well, okay. So everybody knows what's going on. I think pretty much everybody knows what's going on. Frank, you can share that GSB.org link that I.
GSBARC.org
ARC, that's it, yeah.
/LMS.
I've got
Yeah.
it
It's
right
in the chat now.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah.
Frank.
Good.
So that's the website for Last Man Standing, the HF event that's going to start on March 24th. It is all week long, and it's
is.
going to be so. John, something I wanted to ask you that we didn't talk about. Excuse me, we didn't talk about beforehand. I know you were on Hayden's stream the other night,
Yes, I was.
and are you guys going to have an Australian station for this HF event?
I don't know. It's I'll digress and say that this started out as a 1-day, 2-hour event.
Uh-huh.
And then Lou and Sally entered and said, we do the 12 Days of Christmas, which is a week-long event
Mhm.
with lots and lots of control operators.
Mhm.
And I went, okay, if you guys are interested. So it suddenly became a week-long event with initially their control operators.
Mhm.
And then over the course of the last few weeks, ballooned into something in the neighborhood of 60 control operators. I don't even know anymore.
Wow.
And it goes well beyond HF. It's going to be HF certainly.
Mhm.
And we're putting control operators in every call sign area, KA6LMS /0 through 9,
Mhm. Mhm.
special event bonus stations, KA6LMS and W6LMS. And then every digital mode you can think of. We're doing a lot of D-Star, and now we are doing a lot of DMR. And the Amateur Logic guys are doing a whole night of multi-mode, where just everything you've ever heard of and a few things you've never heard of, digitally speaking, are going to be active as KA6LMS. So it's kind of huge now. I think there's also going to be some satellite.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Right. And there may or may not be moon bounce, and Lou and Sally can talk about that. But it's expanding. It's expanding every day. And then today we had interest from the Amateur Television Network, the ATN, where we may take our operators who are live streaming and send them to the ATN guys to restream and also put on the Amateur Television Network. So, and they're sort of international because they put it on their streaming system, which then gets rebroadcast actually through RF in other places in the world.
Mhm.
So that's it's big.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, those guys. I was talking to one of those guys in the QSO Today Expo earlier, and I'm like, man, I need to learn more about this because I think there's a couple. I don't know because digital amateur television is a thing, and then there's the old school analog. And I last I checked, there was no digital stuff around me, but it's been a while since I've looked, and that'd be interesting to see. But good. Somebody in the chat, or Don, one of our longtime viewers in the chat, are you going to be doing slow scan TV?
I have not heard of that yet.
Okay.
Nobody's stepped up. But what we're doing is people are coming up more to Lou, because Lou and Sally are really running this. I'm in the process, as you and I talked before the show.
Mm-hmm.
We are right now producing the last 3 episodes of Last Man Standing,
right?
And in the COVID era. And it's kind of a challenge because we're running a television production and an emergency hospital room at the same time. So the workload's high. And luckily for us that Lou and Sally can step up and help produce this event. So what's been happening is people will come forward and say, well, you really need to do satellite. And we'll go, sure. Do you want to do satellite for us? And they go, yeah. They go, great. Now we have satellite people. So if somebody came to us and said, we want to do slow scan of whatever images they wanted to scan, we would probably say yes, and we would find a way to get them images to slow scan.
The QSL card is always a popular one.
So that's true. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, good. Okay. All right, good. So, so how many call operator you're gonna have people in all call zones 0 through 9, which you mentioned that you're gonna have some Canadian stations.
Yes.
VE.
Yeah. Let me let Lou jump in because he's really running that part of this event.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you guys go ahead.
John's in charge of podcasts and all of that.
Okay. So because I was, you guys have a Discord server for everybody who's going to be a control operator, and I've been poking around in there for the last couple of weeks, and I think there was talk about getting an actual X-ray Echo Mexican station at some point in time. So whatever happened with that, and how many different Canadian stations are we going to have? Can you answer that question?
As of right now, we have 1 or 2 different Canadian stations, but believe me, that could change at a moment's notice.
Okay.
We picked up the guys with the amateur TV.
Mm-hmm.
We will have slow scan, by the way. A couple of the satellite operators also do slow scan.
Okay.
So I would suspect that we will have some slow scan operation. We're going to have 60 or 70 operators, and that's of right now. That's going to change. Let me tell you, Sally and I have been doing these special events for many years. Mm-hmm. We did K2 Heroes. We wound up with K2M, the Apollo, and we wound up with 25, 30,000 Qs. I think this is going to be bigger than that. We basically have a logging ingest program that we wrote that takes the different logs, because as you probably well know, Jason, the ADIF format is not a standard. So,
right.
It's kind of like here. So our programmers at my company have basically programmed import routines for most of that. And so we can handle pretty much whatever gets thrown at us. And I suspect we're just gonna have a lot of fun with it. Sally and I are gonna be on the air a lot.
Good.
A lot of times we wind up doing a lot of the paperwork, which is, did you turn the logs in? How many did you have today? Answering emails. But this time, I think when I send out the package, telling everybody this is how it works, I think we're going to have a lot more time to operate. At least I hope so. So we're really looking forward to it. Now,
correct me if I'm wrong. You two are in charge of, or have a large hand in, if not in charge of, the 13 Colonies event in July?
No, we're not in charge. We just operate for New York.
We operate for New York for 13 Colonies. What we do, 12 days of Christmas.
That's the one I was thinking of. 12 days of Christmas. Okay.
Is ours.
Okay.
We whatever the club comes up with, and sometimes it's something we think of, like when we did the K2 Heroes, which was only New York State, because thank goodness we did only New York State. We had 65 counties, 65 different certificates.
Wow.
For depending on who you worked. It was quite an effort. And we had a lot of states contact us and said, we'd like to do it. And I said, have a nice time. we'll tell you how to do it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Well,
we
cool.
also operate Museum Ships Weekend. We go
Yes.
to the Intrepid
That's
in
fun.
New York.
That's
So
fun.
that's
Yeah.
fun to do. That's
Yeah.
a lot of fun to do.
One of my favorite events that the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club does is also the Lighthouse event.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Fire Island Lighthouse
I
where
was-
I volunteer.
okay.
Yeah.
And
There's a couple of, the GSB on which Jason, their clubhouse is amazing. If you can stop in and see it,
Okay.
and the guys are really welcoming. It's one of those clubs that, a lot of clubs around the country talk about that they're going to do all these things,
Mhm.
but they never get around to it. And the GSB guys, boy, they do pretty much everything, anything they ever talk about. When a disaster hits on Long Island, some hams show up with a handheld, and the Great South Bay guys show up with bulldozers.
Wow.
Yeah.
really.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Communications for marathons and
Mhm.
things like that.
Sure.
So it's a lot of fun being part of this group because we do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I participated in the 13 Colonies event for the last 2 years. I did not participate in 12 Days of Christmas, but I was actually out at my hunting lease during that time of year, and I was recording videos with some different antennas on the back of my new IC705 at the time, and I worked like 3 different 12 Days of Christmas stations, and I'm like, this is a cool event, so I went and looked it up and read all about it. So shortly before the event starts this, later this year, when that time of year rolls around, I need to get you two back on the channel, and we can just do a big advertisement about that event. That might be fun.
Yeah. 12 Days of Christmas is a very fun event.
Mhm.
People take it serious. And that's why when we first started talking with John, I said, John, this is not going to play out the way you think. We actually have people who, when they do 12 Days of Christmas, they have to do it first on sideband. They get all 12 days, and then they come back and they do it on CW.
Right.
The different
All the different
40
bands.
and
Right.
20 and
Right.
They do their own thing with it.
Yeah.
It kind of has a life of its own.
Yeah.
So we're going to get people who are on every call area, every bonus station,
Yep.
on all different bands, and
And that's where
whatever.
the emails can get a little unwieldy,
Yeah.
where you're getting a constant stream of where is
Where's
K6A?
Stroke A?
Where is
gonna be
Yeah,
up there. When is 2? We have a lot of 2 operators because I recruited everyone from Gizmo. Get my 12 days operators also, so I got all of them. I got a couple of people from around the country that
Yeah, we
operate
have-
from me for 12 days, so it's a lot of fun. And I don't know if you ever heard of the Lake Havasu Lighthouse event. It's in November. It's in Arizona.
No, I don't think so. I'm familiar with lighthouses on the air, but not.
No, this is different.
Okay.
That's in August. That's Lighthouse Ship Weekend.
Yeah.
We do Fire Island Lighthouse for that. But there's this group in Arizona that does this Lake Havasu, and all around Lake Havasu is replicas of every lighthouse, of 25 different lighthouses.
Wow.
And each person, operator, goes to that lighthouse. Some of them you can't get to. You have to sit in your boat and operate. And they have a list, and you try to get each one. I haven't gotten all of them yet. I keep
I think
trying.
we've gotten 21.
The 21 out of 27, I think, was the
pretty good.
best I could do.
It's pretty good.
That's a new one for me. I've never
Yeah,
heard
he
of that
always
one.
invites us out. Gary invites us out to operate a lighthouse.
He will be operating. Gary
He'll
and
be
his wife.
operating this year. Him and his wife will be operating for LMS. So
Okay.
that should be fun. He just emailed me asking me, so what's going on? I
Most
said,
of
"We'll
these
be sending you
operators,
out a package."
I have to tell you, Jason, most of these operators are so anxious to be involved with Last Man Standing. They would
Oh,
start
yeah.
tomorrow.
Mhm.
If
Yeah.
I sent the email out and said go, they'll be on the air. They're ready to rock and roll. They want to be part of this. It really is going to be much bigger than John thinks.
Well, than we thought. And, I'm so appreciative of everybody who wants to operate under the banner. And I think the fans of the show, and also just hams in general, will enjoy it.
Mhm.
But, a sub aspect of it is that so many, Jason, like yourself, and so many known hams, podcasters, I really hate ham celebrities, are going to be involved in this show.
Mhm.
I dealt with it a little bit in that video, but it's just been such great to have the support of the ham radio community over all the years of Last Man Standing, and especially for this event, because it's like, I had originally said, I didn't mean it to be the log line of the show, but it turned out to be, it's like, going out with a bang. And so we could have ended the show. We're going to end the show on the 30th, no matter what happens. And I thought, well, I'm going to send the equipment back to the various manufacturers that have loaned it to us. Unfortunately, I can't bring it to my house. It has to go back. That's just the way it is.
I asked that question before the stream, just so everybody's aware.
Yeah.
What happens to those 7610?
Everybody's been really generous to us over the years, because every year we've pretty much sent the stuff back and got the newest, latest, especially obviously Ray at ICOM, but other manufacturers. But this year it's just rather than put it all in boxes, send it back, I thought, we got to do something to celebrate this and properly end the operation of amateur radio from. I don't know when it's going to happen again. What other primetime network television shows will do something like this? So I wanted to do it anyway. It's like this was a great idea. It was not putting these radios on the show was not my idea. This was Tim Allen's idea, and
really, I didn't know that. Okay.
Oh yeah. I mean, the very first day that I met him in our first concept meeting, and he said Mike Baxter, that's his character, is going to be run this gigantic chain of outdoor man stores, and he's going to be a family guy, and he's going to be a survivalist too. He's going to have a bomb shelter and generators and freeze-dried food, and he's going to have radio equipment. So you're a ham. You go, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
And he said, I want him to be, and Tim, of course, had an interest in being an amateur radio operator himself, which he did get licensed, thank goodness, and all that. So, we made it work, and we made it work in the context of the show. And then because some of the crew were already licensed, and a lot of the crew got licensed because of this, and it just became like a thing.
I remember you telling me that when I came out there. I was out there 2 or 3 years. I don't remember what year it was. My wife and I were invited graciously by John out there, and we got to sit in, how this episode's filmed in front of a live studio audience. We were actually the live studio. That's like a real thing. So I've been hearing that since the days of Three's Company. I think I just dated myself, but we were actually a live studio audience for one of the Last Man Standing episodes. And prior to that, I got to sit down and operate the radio. But I remember you telling me, John, and I think the number has probably gone up since then, but can you tell us how many people on your staff got licensed as a result of being on the Last Man Standing show, of working on that show? Do you know?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think it's, I don't know the absolute number, but I think it's in the range of 36, 37, 38, because this was a bad year, obviously, for that, because nobody goes on the stage. I mean, I'm the only person that is literally legally allowed to go on and off the stage. You're either a stage person, and there's only a handful, or you're not a stage person. Wow. For all the reasons you can imagine. There's lots of plastic sheeting around, and security guards, and masks, and all that stuff. So, but so it did slow that down. But up until season 8, we had licensed 35 to 38 people, including Tim as a cast member and Jet as a cast member.
I knew Jet was licensed.
And Tim is sort of marginally active, though he does listen a lot. It's hard for Tim to talk on the radio. His voice is pretty well known.
Yeah, I imagine so. I imagine he could do a pileup anytime he wanted to, I bet.
Yeah, he could create a pileup. And Jet, who gets on the radio on his, we got him an ID51 handheld, and he'd go on the local Papa system repeaters on both analog and D-Star, and he'd create his own little pileup. And we'd have to go out, and someone would have to grab him and pull him back into the stage to shoot the next scene.
Right.
So he would just run through battery after battery until we could get him back on the stage.
I think I saw him at the last Hamvention. I think he was there. He was walking around talking with either Ray or somebody or maybe Tom W5KUB. And I was like, I know who that is. So
yeah, he was very popular at the Hamvention.
Yeah, I bet he was.
The Lee family grabbed him, and Tom did grab him, and he was spent a little time at the Icon booth and a few other places.
That's great.
It's fun though.
Cool. Okay. How are the they haven't assigned up the call signs to all the control operators yet, or at least not that I've seen, unless I missed that somehow as I was still.
That's a Lou question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't miss that.
Okay.
We've got some surprises for how we're going to handle the call signs.
Okay.
Again, over the years, having done special events, we know where the roadblocks happen.
Sure.
And so we're going to be, let's just say the 1-by-1 call signs are going to be our floodgates. So when we get people when we get 4 or 5 people that want to operate from Oregon, I don't think the state can handle more than one operator at a time transmitting, but that's beside the point. When we're just going to throw them the 1x1s and say, have fun. Aside from using the /7 call sign, which they can use, we're also going to let them use the 1x1s. So
okay.
It's going to be a fun thing.
I imagine that. I imagine so. Yeah. I kind of assume I will be /5 at some point in time.
Yes,
but,
you will.
Okay.
You'll be /5.
Okay.
And we'll also tell you, if you get into a situation where you want to do some 1x1 stuff, go right ahead.
Okay.
Just start a new log and do the 1x1. And
I might do that.
yeah, because we're going to get a lot of people that want to operate. And we're going to have CW. We're going to have everything going. As a matter of fact, we have one of my favorite stories is we have one guy, K2TV, Bob, who does slow speed pileups on CW. And it is the funniest thing to listen to.
Wow.
Now, I'm a CW operator, so 25, 30 words a minute is kind of normal. But Bob sits there patiently and works these guys at 7, 8 words a minute, pile up after pile up after pile up.
Wow.
And it's great because you can see their enthusiasm that they're getting an opportunity to be part of a special event that normally all they would hear is 30 words a minute and they wouldn't even be able to pick their call sign out. And now here's Bob patiently taking them through the process. It's great.
But me not being a CW operator, I say do voice.
Yes, do voice.
I will not be doing CW. I'll be doing voice.
I try to learn it, and when I get to J, it's beyond me.
I kid at the club all the time about the CW being that dot and dash thing. And I actually said that so many times that I had one guy come up to me and say, are you ever going to learn it? And I said, I'm an extra for 60 years. I had to know it to get my extra.
Right.
So,
yeah. Totally.
That's funny. I mean, one of the things I think about this event that I like the most is how inclusive it's going to be. It's like, we're going to be an HF and we're going to be doing all the modes we can think of, including FT8, by the way. CW, SSB, FTA, RIDI. I think Josh is going to do some RIDI.
Oh, good.
And I know Joe Eisenberg is going to do FT8, and yes, K2TV is going to do CW at any speed. And the thing about that is, if you have somebody who's learning CW, and all you do is tell them to go faster, you're going to turn them off to the mode. But if you work them at 5 words per minute, the next time you hear them, they're going to probably be 10 words a minute because they've gone on the air and they've done it, and they're going to get better at it. So what overwhelmingly what I would like to see in this event is we just want to work everyone on any mode that wants to work us. That would be the log line for this event.
Wonder if I should fire up the 100-watt FM simplex radio and get on 6.52 and just see who I can work around my immediate area.
Absolutely.
Oh, you'll work them. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So
when we did the DZ10 in Washington, D.C., we went on simplex, the FM simplex, and we had people calling us from the airport.
From the airport. Okay.
Yeah.
One of the security, what are those people?
Yeah, it was actually the Secret Service.
The Secret Service guy.
Get off our frequency.
Oh my goodness.
The Secret Service guy comes over to us and says, "Gee, I really want to work you, but by the time I get home, you're going to be gone because we had an official start date and we had to be out of there by a certain time." So we gave him a handheld. He went across the street and we worked.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Was the classic. If you've ever seen Men in Black, there's a scene where they say the FBI has no sense of humor that we're aware of. Well, that's exactly what this guy was like. He came over and he was so serious about not being able to get home in time. And we said, why don't you just take a handheld over there? And he was thrilled. We had a lot of fun with that event. So.
Yeah. We may or may not have done that on our last soda activation because we were all carrying HTs, and some of us went around the trail this way and some of us went around the trail this way, and we worked each other FM simplex. So.
Yeah, we did that. Do that at DZ10 also.
We did that in Washington.
Yeah. I was at Tech at the time, and I couldn't be on HF unless I worked the the call sign that we were using
Yeah.
at the time. So we went on Simplex, and I was able to get DZ10 for the National Parks on the Air thing that they were doing for the year.
And it was kind of cool because at one point the Secret Service came over to us and said, "Can you guys hold your tent down if a helicopter goes over?" And we said, "Wait a minute."
So we're all holding the
We
tent.
said, "Wait a minute, who's flying over?" And they said, "I can't tell you that." But Obama and his family flew over right over on top of us.
God.
We have
Yeah.
pictures and videos of that. So it was very cool. And again, these are little things that we've done as special events that you can't replace.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be stroke 2, and I think a lot of people want to be KA6 stroke, LMS stroke the number. They want to have that
Yeah.
LMS.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a bonus station also. We'll see, people
Okay.
looking for certain stations, I'll be able to work them.
Yeah,
so
most
that
of the
they get
people,
their clean sweeps.
some of
Yeah.
our people, and again, the clean sweep, the certificate, you saw it in the
Yes.
video.
Right.
There's a lot to that. There's a lot of behind the scenes with the database for that so that we can check off those boxes electronically.
And the certificate is signed by the cast members.
Well, yes, it does look like it's signed. It's a very good,
It's a good photocopy, probably.
a good photocopy.
It's a good scan.
Yeah, a good
Well,
scan.
they're
Yeah.
not gonna sit and sign 30,000.
No, of course not. Goodness.
So-
But
That's another thing, Jason, if I just have one more minute.
Go ahead.
There's no limit to when you can pick up the certificates. We still have people picking up certificates from 2015. We keep our servers up.
Mhm.
You go on there, you would put in your call sign, and if you're entitled to it, then you can download the certificate.
Mhm.
We don't put a limit on when they can come and get it.
Did you pick up your certificate for 12 days that you worked?
I didn't. No.
So
I
go
only
Let me make
worked like
note
2
of that.
stations.
Let me
Well,
make
that's
it.
all right. You can work it for 1. You can get one
Okay.
for 1. So that way you can go to my QRZ page, K2RYD, and see the link, and you
Okay.
can see all the certificates and all the special events that we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
You can check
So,
it out.
so there's no limit. So there's people, and the reason I'm saying that is, as I've told John many times, this event is going to start at 0 hours.
Mhm.
At 0 hours,
Mhm.
we will get the first email saying the certificate program isn't working. I kid you not. I tried to download the certificate and it didn't work.
You
Uh-huh.
gotta wait at least 30 days.
Even though we're telling people, wait 30 days, wait
Yeah.
30. Now,
Okay.
so
Okay. Sheesh.
One of the things that's I think is going to be cool if it works is that Rob AA6RA, who you've met, Jason,
Yes.
and he's sort of the official voice of the KA6LMS, is going to work probably 20 meters on Saturday day, and I'm going to work probably 40 meters on Sunday late afternoon, evening.
Okay.
And because it is a challenged station, as you know, you worked it.
Oh yeah.
We're going to try to have relays. So we'll go and be on the Discord, and we can say to people,
Mhm.
some of our control operators, give a listen on this frequency.
Okay.
And if people are trying to contact us from around the country that can't quite get to us, you can assist us.
Sure.
And we'll take relay check-ins as if they are actual check-ins, because I want people to, as best as possible, get to the actual, this is obviously a green screen behind me,
Mhm.
but what you're seeing, that is the desk, and those radios are the actual radios on the show, where, minutes after we finish an operation on the stage, the actors are standing, usually Tim Allen sitting at that desk right in front of those radios. So I would like as many people to get to that desk, to those radios as possible.
Mhm. Mhm.
Direct, obviously, or if necessary through a relay. And then that'll be the actual KA6LMS QSL card, as opposed to the KA6LMS special event station, certificate. So
Mhm.
a little bit of a distinction.
Cool. That made me think of something when you were saying that. Is there, I know you guys had sent an email the other day about live streaming, about who's going to live stream. Is there going to be like a schedule of people who want to, people like myself who want to live stream about when? I mean, I don't think you would want like 6 people live streaming all at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a tough one. I mean, that's something that I don't know if that's ever been done before.
Well,
I
actually,
mean, has it? I mean, multiple stations live streaming at different times and the coordination of that?
yeah, K2 Heroes had multiple live streams,
Okay.
and I don't think it matters.
It probably doesn't. I just wonder. I wondered what your basically what your take on it. What are you requesting of people? Is basically what I was asking.
My take is not to say no to anybody.
Okay.
So if they want to live stream, have a nice day. Go for it.
All right.
Just don't send me emails while I'm on the air. But
yeah.
I think they can live stream because they can operate on a lot of bands. And don't forget, we can use the WARC bands. We are not.
Oh, that's right. It's not a contest. It's a special event. There's a difference. Very true.
Yes, there's a huge difference.
Very true.
So
yes.
If they want to get on 17 and 18 and do their thing, that is fine. There is nothing wrong with that. We are not a contest. Good. And that's stressed in the write-up that everybody will be getting.
Good.
So, they can do that. So, people were worried about that. I said, don't worry about it.
No, that doesn't. Yeah, you're right. I hear, I think I've worked some 13 Colony special event stations on 17 meters. It's it's not a contest. So it's definitely doable. Well, let me go. Let me switch to Frank real quick. Frank, do we have any question? I know the chat's been rolling by pretty quickly, and it looks like John answered the question of the day. I almost slipped. I almost slipped with that earlier because I know what Tim Allen's call sign is. I looked it up a long time ago, but
I'm not going to say it. Someone might have pointed out in the chat. I think that would be doxing, and
that was John who said it in the chat. So you're good.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
That's all right.
I don't like that. But I don't think there were really a lot of questions. There was a couple of them, but they got answered throughout the interview, going back and forth.
Well, good.
One question I did have, and I think you did answer it. Did Tim Allen have his license before the show, or was he got interested because of the show and he wanted to learn more about it?
No, it's a funny story because when I met him, first day I met him, we talked about ultimately ham radio, and he had not gotten his license. He had been to a local Southern California ham radio store, which will remain nameless, looked at gear, and, Tim has resources. So I guess if he had been, sold, he'd been, I guess, impressed, he would have bought something, but he didn't. He came away without any equipment. But he wanted a license. He wanted to be able to use ham radio. He is a technology guy. As you probably know, or if you know anything about Tim, he loves cars, and he does.
Yeah.
And Jay Leno is on our show frequently. So there's a little bit of a competition between Tim and Jay about who's going to bring what car on one day. Jay sometimes wins that competition,
I actually
a lot of cars.
I spoke to Jay Leno for about a half a second when I was out there. He was like, "Hey guys, what are y'all doing?" I said, "Hey Jay, nice car." He goes, "Thanks," and that was it.
And it didn't matter which car; all his cars
right,
are
exactly.
Nice cars,
I don't even remember what it was.
But you could bring the best car you have and put it in that parking lot, and Jay's going to come in with something that would just like, "Oh my God, what is that?"
That's right.
It's
that's right.
It's either something from the 1930s that's been fully restored, or it's some, $500,000 sports car that none of us will ever see in our lifetimes.
True.
Anyway, no, Tim came to us, or to me, I guess, to talk about his interest in amateur radio. He did not have his license when we first met him. And he was interested in the equipment, the technology. He has more than one residence.
Mm-hmm.
So he was thinking, maybe it's a way to stay in touch with his family and his friends and all that, which of course it is, for all of us.
Sure.
And I simply said to him, ham radio is in my background because I've been a ham since I'm a teenager, and I can help you with that. So we did. We helped him in terms of making this station, making amateur radio a real, hopefully, I think that viewers will agree, positive and mostly accurate portrayal of what ham radio is. And then helping him and 36 or 7 of our other crew members get their license.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's licensed, and so is Jet, and he's got equipment, and what he does with it is sort of his deal.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that on the show, because I guess this is my background, there's a lot of radio, not ham, but radio. Like I talk to all of my crew members on radios, and I watch the show on my monitors in my room. Any of you guys that have been, Jason, you've been to my office.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a control room where we see what's happening on stage. We talk to the cast on the radio. That really paid off this year.
Mm-hmm.
When we're not allowed to go down there,
Yeah.
we can see what's happening. We can talk to everybody on radios.
Mm-hmm.
And so, radio pays off in big ways. It's not just ham radio. It's whatever you need it to be. Radio exists, and we just happen to play in this particular arena, but it's a bigger thing than that. So the answer is no, he wasn't pre-licensed, but he got licensed. He studied. Now, is it hard to study if you're an actor who memorizes a 55-page script every week? Probably not.
Probably not.
If someone gave you the entire question pool with only the correct answers, would you be able to get your license? Probably. So yeah, that's the answer.
Real fast. What are the dates again for the event?
I'm going to let Lou and Sally tell you all the dates and all that information.
Yeah, the 24th, we're going to start at 00 hours on the 24th, and we're going to go until 00 hours on the 30th.
Good.
23:59.
23:59, sorry. 23:59.
Right. So that's going to start at 7 p.m. Texas time, because we're UTC -5 right now.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Texas time on actually Tuesday, the 23rd. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Yeah, that works out. So I do a 12 o'clock noon lunchtime live stream every Wednesday. That's what I'm doing that week. I'm going to live stream myself being on HF. There it is. That's right there. Awesome.
Yeah, and don't forget the gsbarc.org /LMS page. We're going to be keeping that up to date with information. The operators will all have a Discord log on, so they will be talking to each other, and that is a kind of a fun thing once that gets rolling, because that's going to keep you off the bands where you're going to waste your time. We had one operator during Heroes who suddenly said, you know what, I'm going to try 160, and boom. Boy, he must have made 200-300 contacts on 160 meters.
I am amazed every time field day comes around that the band gods come out and flip the switch to the bands on, and then they leave it off for the other 360. That always amazes me. I don't understand how the bands are dead until field day weekend, and all of a sudden they work just fine. So that's a thing, So
1 year I operated 10 meters the entire day. The entire day I was on 3. And had pileups on 10 meters.
Oh, yeah. I don't doubt it.
Special events create sunspots, apparently.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
There will be 10-meter activity, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Will there be a station on set?
Oh, yeah, there will be.
Yeah, John talked about that already.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, I think it will be a little bit random in general. Like, we don't have an audience anymore, so our days are pretty easy. So we will get on stage usually 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, but we might be done by 6 in the afternoon. And then I can jump on a radio for a few minutes. But definitely on the weekend, on the Saturday and the Sunday, we're going to be on the radios on set, and we're going to work direct, and we're going to hopefully work through relay stations as well.
Awesome.
So the actual question was, and I know the answer to this because you answered earlier, John, but I think it was before we started rolling. Will the station on set be running an amp or running barefoot?
I was about to roll into that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they won't, because it's miraculous that we can have a working ham radio station on a studio lot. Now, the studio lot we're on, we are a 20th Century Fox show, which is now owned by Disney, and we air on the Fox network. So we are Fox and Fox, two different things. The Fox production company has nothing to do with the Fox network. So now we are basically owned by Walt Disney. Anyway, but we're on the CBS lot. We rent space on the CBS Studio City lot. And their West Coast CBS, the entire West Coast CBS facility is on that same lot. We're about 1,000 feet away from it. If we run power, we will interfere with the CBS broadcast facility and set off all the fire alarms of all the 23 stages on the CBS lot. So the answer is no.
Yeah.
We are not going to run power. We run about 100 watts in a very high RFI environment. So, I mean, Jason has been there. He's seen it. It's daunting.
Yeah.
We open up the band scope on the 7300 all the way. We find the spot with the least noise. That's the frequency we're going to operate on. So people who ask me on the Facebook, what frequency will you be on a month ahead? I can't tell you. I'm going to work on the frequency with the least amount of noise and where somebody isn't already operating.
Good.
Yeah, a lot of times People ask us all the time, where are you guys going to be?
What's your frequency?
Just look for us.
Seriously?
Yeah, who knows?
You yourself a DX, you don't even know how to use,
Yeah,
come on, just look for us. You'll find us.
Hey,
I got a good question here from Don, Smoke and Signal RF.
okay.
What kind of antenna do you have at the CBS studio?
I was going to ask that earlier.
Okay, at the studio, I mean, for HF, which I think is what the question is.
Yeah.
I've got a 40-meter dipole set up like a flat top on the stage roof, and I've got a 20-meter. Actually, I made a fan dipole this year, so I guess the 40 is like a flat top, and the 20s an inverted V essentially as a fan dipole, which is not bad. The studio is about 45 feet high. So, and there's about a 25-foot mast on top of that studio. It's real scary up there. It's covered with solar panels. It's got inverters up there. You know, basically anything that generates noise is right next to my antenna. And there's miles of giant fat cable running. We run 300 amps of power on that stage when it's lit. And we run basically the precursor to what would be Ethernet cable to run all of the lighting is all controlled by computers. And the Wi-Fi for this studio lot was brought in about 25 years ago when, you know, I don't know what the speed of that Wi-Fi would have been, but not Wi-Fi, but internet. But now so it was Cat5 cable. It was the 25-year-old vintage routers and switches. And now they're pushing gigabit Ethernet through it. So there's just RFI from everything you can imagine. So, but we still do our best, and we will work everyone we can hear. I know we will get relays from our various stations. I will try to listen to some SDR, radios. Like when I'm home, I'm in where I am right now is in my shack. And I will oftentimes listen to an SDR station in Utah just to offset what I'm hearing here. Because, it's just Southern California. We're far away from everything. We can work Japan. That's not a problem.
You can work Japan.
We can work Japan without any problem. But working back to New York, not easy sometimes.
Well, see, down here in Texas, I'm always telling people it's hard to get Alaska. And people in California are like, what are you talking about? Alaska's on every day. I'm like, I'm sure they are, but they don't make it down here. So.
Oh, yeah.
I would like to say real quick that Hayden from Ham Radio DX is in the chat right now. And he says, sorry, late for joining, but we'll catch up. Was a pleasure having John on my channel the other day. So Hayden's a good dude.
Well, we need to know if Hayden is going to be a KA6LMS / VK station, I guess.
VK, buddy. Do it, Hayden.
Yeah, that would be great.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So okay,
we're already international because we have the VEs, but we haven't gone any further than that yet.
Yeah.
One thing to keep in mind: don't ever lose sight of the fact that the minute we start this event, you're the DX.
Yeah.
You are the DX.
Yeah.
You set the rules. You control the pileups. You're the DX, and that makes it even more fun.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to work every station, John.
Oh, great. Yeah. I'm going to try. I'm going to try under my own call to work every station as well.
Right. Well, see, and I was talking to John before the camera started rolling. I'm like, you know what? I want a clean sweep certificate. So I might, if I'm out there tuning around the band, not calling CQ, I might hear one of the other stations and throw out my own call sign. So we'll see what happens with that.
I even get a clean sweep in my own event.
Yeah, we all do that. It's not unusual. It's not unusual for me to say, for example, I would say KA6LMS/2, and then I'll work somebody. Let's say I'll work somebody that's a 7. I'll say, hey, can I work you my home call? And I'll give them my home call.
Yeah, I do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
that happens all the time.
Sure.
So feel free to do that. That's still true context. Doesn't matter how you train.
That's true. Very true.
No. We should do all of that stuff because it has to be fun for us too.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay. Well, we've been going about an hour, and that's where I usually like to have things. So, Frank, any last questions from the chat real quick?
No. I think we covered it all.
Okay.
Great. There was not too many questions, so very informative, and it sounds like you covered all the bases. I'll go ahead and put the link to y'all's website in there one more time.
Yeah, put that in there again.
And man, I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be great. If you have a digital mode, look at the Saturday evening because the amateurlogic.tv guys are going to do a multi-mode with anything you have in you got an old DV dongle in your drawer that you haven't pulled out in years, pull it out and stick it in your computer and get on D-Star, DMR, All-Star, Echolink, whatever, DMR. It's just, and give us a call and get a contact that way. Get a contact however you can, or get multiple contacts on multiple bands on multiple days. That's really the trick.
Yep. That's what you want to do.
Sure. For sure. Great. This has been very informative and great information. Really appreciate you guys putting on this event. I think it's going to be very, like you said, Lou. I think it's going to be, you're definitely going to be the DX that day. There's going to be a lot of people looking for those call signs that day for sure, or that week for sure.
People staying in their homes. What else are you going to do?
Right.
How many closets can you clean out? Really?
Right.
Yeah. True. Cool. Okay. Well, any parting words from Sally and Lou, real quick? Anything you'd like to leave us with?
Just have fun and work us.
And if I could comment on the virtual QSO party that just finished up.
Yes.
Let me tell you something, people. Send him the $10 and support the guy.
Right.
Help him out. Sally and I belong to a lot of clubs that we don't participate in, but we give him the dues. We help him out. It's ham radio. Stop complaining.
Right.
Give him a couple of bucks and let him get it squared away. So that's my little take on that.
Completely agree. I hope you heard my opening. I hope you heard my opening dialogue about that.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
It was well said, actually, Jason.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, John. Any closing comments?
I'm just looking forward to it, and I really hope all of your listeners will give us a shot. And this is the last chance to contact that station. We've had a lot of fun for 9 years. It's the end of an era, and anyone that really wants to get to this station, there's a lot of ways to do it. So please call us.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, and there's also going to be a trivia station, right?
That's true. There's a last man standing trivia contest.
Really? Okay. So tell us about that.
With prizes. I'll let you say it, Sally.
Okay.
I'm brushing up on all my episodes. We're up to season 5, John.
I'm going to get my wife to watch that. So where is that going to be taking place? Is that going to be on the air?
The trivia will be W2JV. We'll be asking trivia questions when he's operating.
Okay.
He's going to be live streaming. That's Peter.
Okay.
He'll be live streaming, and he'll be on with that. Again, it's going to be a fun event, and it's going to change. So keep your eye on that LMS page, because who knows what people will come up with.
But there will be prizes, because I sent him a big box of things to give away. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Good. Excellent. Cool. Well, hey, thank you very much to all three of you for being on the show tonight. I think we had somewhere in the neighborhood of like 230 people at one point in time watching us, which that's a good number. I try to live stream every Sunday. I was doing every other Sunday last year, and beginning of 2021, we went to every Sunday. I'm actually booked up for the next 2 months with topics, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's great.
But I average somewhere in the neighborhood of like 150-ish or so. So we had more people than normal tonight, and I bet this episode will get a lot of replays in the days to come. So people are interested in what you're doing. People are thankful for what you're doing. I want to thank you myself for allowing me to come out there 2 or 3 years ago. My wife, there's been very few times in my life where my wife has been impressed that I was a ham radio operator, but that was one of them right there. I said, "Hey, we're gonna go to Last Man Standing and watch an episode," and she's like, "What?" I was like, "No, we're gonna go to California." She's like, "Okay, sure we are." And we got there, and she's like, "Wow." so that was fun. That was fun to do. But thank you, John, Lou, and Sally, for your time tonight, and thank you for your effort to promote amateur radio on network television. I mean, that you're right, John. That didn't get done very much at all. But it's good to have somebody out there who's interested in doing just exactly that.
Well, thank you so much for having us tonight. It was great.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, guys, I'll let y'all drop off, and have a good evening.
Thank you for having us.
Stay warm out there in the cold weather, and I will definitely email you guys about because I'll be in Long Island in April.
Okay, good. And check the certificate program.
Do it.
Great.
Perfect. Good.
Great. Thanks,
okay.
Jason.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. You guys have a good one.
Bye. Good night, John.
Good night. See you guys later.
All right, there you are, Frank. You in there?
Yes, I am.
Cool, man.
Welcome back from, well, I'm not going to, I
Nah,
was
you already
backstage
said
the
that.
whole
You
time.
already said that.
And I've been.
That was fun. I tell you what, those are some
Yes.
nice people. John's a good dude. Seriously, we went out there and he's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he invited me out there, and I took Emily, and he showed us around like that whole time. He took us through the whole stage. He explained how the sets were set up. He let me sit down at the station. I operated the radio. I recorded a video there. He said, you can't get this angle because this is Tim's angle, but everything else over here is okay. And I'm like, okay, that's fine.
What is Tim's angle?
I had some kind of copyrighted shot they had, I think. And I'm like, that's, if I was Tim Allen, I'd be like, yeah, that's my seat right there. Nobody else use that. So I don't blame him. I mean, that's cool. But there was a certain angle, but they had like QSL cards all over the place, and they had fake HF certificates for worked all states, worked all zones. Because I say they were fake because they were with Tim Allen's, with Mike Baxter's fictional call sign on them.
The KK6 call sign?
KA6LMS.
Okay.
KA6LMS is him. So, but that was just a fun set to hang out with. I'm gonna have to dig that. That episode was 2 or 3 years old. I have to dig it out and share it again on my stream. Let everybody watch it. So, hey guys, we are going to. You know what I want to do? I want to go ahead and shut down this stream, and we're gonna move over to Twitch, and we're gonna do some Q&A. And we're going to invite those of you who want to come on to Twitch and talk to us are certainly welcome to do that. If you got a question, you want to come on to the Zoom, I'll send you a Zoom link, or Frank will, and you can come on to Twitch and talk with us. I'm going to do some screen share from my 20 meter FT. Let me look at my FT8 station here. It's been running this whole time, but I don't know what it currently looks like. I don't know what the band looks like. If 20 meters has died down, we'll move over to 40. Oh no, 20 meters is still kind of rocking. Oh yeah, 20 meters is on fire in Texas. All right, so I'll do a screen share of my 20 meter FT8 station, and those of you who want to work us on FT8 can do so. So go to twitch.tv/KC5HWB. I don't know if you have that link. That's fine.
Set up yet, but I will pull it up here in a minute.
Okay.
So if you keep talking, it will be in there in 2, 1.
So
there it is.
Stack Smasher, thank you very much for the $20 super chat. I really appreciate that. I love your gear reviews. Those are some of my favorite videos to do, is the gear reviews for sure. So what is Twitch? Twitch is just another streaming network similar to YouTube, but not as advanced in my opinion, but it's pretty cool. Frank just shared the URL, twitch.tv/KC5HWB. When we get over there, I'll share with you the Zoom URL. They have a chat down the right-hand side of the screen the same way as YouTube does. So we're going to go over there and hang out for a bit.
Also, let's not forget about the 73,000 subscriber giveaway.
Correct. Yeah, everyone go sign up for that 73K giveaway. Going to be giving away some Bioenno gear, some T-shirts, some K6ARK antenna kits, maybe 1 or 2 other items. I might throw one of those POV cases in there, actually. I was thinking about that earlier. I might throw one of those 705 cages, not case, but cage, 705 cages into the mix, because I have those on hand. So that is that. All right, so 73, we're going to shut it down here. Give me like 5 minutes, and we're just going to fire up a brand new stream on Twitch. Go to twitch.tv/KC5HWB, which is my channel, and it should just pop up live for you there as soon as we're live. So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Excellent show. Definitely go check out the Last Man Standing HF special event website, and try to put some time aside that week to work some of us on the special event. It's going to be fun. And you know what? I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play that same KA6LMS exit video as my outro. So 73, and we'll see you guys on Twitch.
See y'all later.
If you're a fan of Tim Allen's TV series Last Man Standing, you'll have a final chance to contact the show's amateur radio club station before it goes QRT.
This is KA0XTT73.
The week-long KA6LMS radio special event starts on March 24th at 0000 UTC and runs through 2359 UTC on March 30th. This will be an all-mode, all-band event.
CQ. This is KA6LMS.
Kilo Alpha 6, this is Kilo Alpha 6, Lima Mike Sierra calling CQ.
Fans will have the opportunity to work the bonus 1x1 stations, K6L, K6M, K6S, W6L, W6M, and W6S. Stations from every call sign area will operate as KA6LMS/0 through KA6LMS/9 and KA6LMS/VE, providing nationwide and international coverage. The remote operators are a virtual who's who of ham celebrities, contesters, and podcasters. Many will live stream their operations. Check spotting sites like DX Summit for pop-up operations on any day and at any time during the event week. We expect the on-stage radios to be in operation from the studio in California on Saturday, March 27th at 1800 UTC using 20 meters, and on Sunday at 2200 UTC using 40 meters. If you're a fan of digital modes, Saturday, March 27th is your day. At 1700 UTC, KA6LMS will be using D-Star on Reflector 12 Alpha, hosted by the Papa repeater system. At 1900 UTC, the D-Star action moves to Reflector 30 Bravo, hosted by Georgia D-Star. At 2300 UTC, AmateurLogic.tv will host the KA6LMS multi-mode QSO party using All-Star, DMR, D-Star, NXDN, P25, Echolink, Ham Shack Hotline, Wires X, and Yaesu System Fusion.
For DMR users, in addition to the multi-mode QSO party hosted by AmateurLogic.tv on the evening of March 27th, you'll have 6 more opportunities to use that mode. DMR specialist Michael, AF6FB, will operate as KA6LMS on March 25th at 1800 hours and 2100 hours UTC. On March 27th at 1600 hours UTC. On March 28th at 2100 hours UTC. And on March 30th at 1800 hours and 2100 hours UTC. Please check the event webpage for talk group information.
KA6LMS QSL cards will be available for stations who contact the stage directly or through relay stations. Special event certificates, including clean sweep endorsements, will be available via download. The KA6LMS radio event is sponsored by the Great South Bay Amateur Radio Club's 12 Days of Christmas team and K2 Heroes teams. In association with AmateurLogic.tv, the Papa repeater system, and Georgia D-Star. And of course, Last Man Standing and KA6LMS have always been powered by ICOM. For more information, go to www.gsbarc.org/LMS.